Digital detox has been a big buzzword, and all the more so for 2025, where the world will be coming up with new ways and means to get themselves and their kids off media. Why so? Yes, the focus will be on mental health and working on dealing with addiction and anxiety. But also, this has got to do with another mounting problem, that of childhood myopia. Myopia or nearsightedness is becoming an increasing concern in India, particularly among kids. A recent study titled Time Trends on the Prevalence of Myopia in India, a prediction model for 2050, highlights this growing issue, showing a dramatic rise in the prevalence of myopia among urban children between the ages of 5 to 15. The rate has surged from 4.44% in 1999 to 21.15% in 2019, indicating a significant shift in eye health trends over the past 2 decades. At this rate, 31.8% of kids in India will develop myopia by the year 2030, over 40% by 2040, and a concerning 48.14% by 2050. If this trend continues, the generational impact, a condition that typically persists for life, will drive up overall rates across all ages by over 10% over the next 3 decades.
Myopia or nearsightedness, which is the requirement for glasses for seeing far, have increased a lot in the last decade. The numbers have actually doubled. And this is related a lot to the near activities that people are doing, to the COVID pandemic that made us all get indoors, to the increasing level of pollution, which is again keeping the children indoors, not allowing them to see far. And so this is why we have seen such an increase in myopia in the last decade. In fact, today, 1 in every 10 child in the age group of 5 to 15 is having glasses.
The COVID-19 pandemic has also worsened this crisis.
Screens offer a continuous stream of stimulation that can be difficult for people, especially children, to ignore. Screens, whether of mobile, tablet, computer, are a window to see the world. Since children are seekers of information circulating around us, they conveniently get addicted to the computer screens.
Experts say regular eye checkups are an absolute must.
So the risk factors for myopia in a child at a young age and why you should suspect myopia is primarily based on if the parents have myopia. Both the parents have myopia, very high risk. If other sibling has a myopia, if the child was premature, low birth weight, child was doing a lot of near activity from early on, child is reluctant to do far activity, go out and play. All these could be risk factors and symptoms that the child requires an eye checkup.
Experts also say it's imperative to get kids outdoors. Time in nature is essential.
Myopia research has identified dopamine in the retina as a key neurotransmitter, which is involved in signaling cascade that regulates refractive development and ocular growth of the eye. Exposure to natural light, sunlight, during the outdoor activities is believed to trigger increased dopamine release in the retina. This surge in dopamine activity could help regulate eye growth and counteract the effects of near work.
For relaxing your eye muscles and reducing the strain on your eyes, eye doctors nowadays recommend the 20-20-20 rule. So what is the 20-20-20 rule? Essentially, when you're looking at your gadget for 20 minutes, what you can do after 20 minutes is that you look away and you look at an object which is 20 feet away. For 20 seconds, you hold that look. Essentially, this is the 20 minutes of gadget use. 20 feet away, you look at an object and you hold that look for 20 seconds. This is the simple 20-20-20 rule. Doctors say, by following this, and more so nowadays, given that we are all hooked to our gadgets, we will be doing our eyes a favor.
Screen has become a major factor in development of myopia. It is important for children to have a regulated screen time. As parents and guardians and teachers at home and at school, we have to ensure that children have a regulated screen time, not more than 20 minutes at a stretch, and ideally not more than an hour or an hour and a half in a day, and that also on activities which are not very fast moving on the screen.
Doctors also warn, saying that early signs can be picked up.
If your child seems to be rubbing his eyes very often, squinting like that in trying to see the blackboard, having difficulty in copying numbers or alphabets from the blackboard, repeatedly having watering of eyes, eye infections, these could all be symptoms and signs of myopia, and get your child checked up.
Lifestyle changes are also important.
We should encourage our children to do outdoor activities in sunlight and reduce the screen exposure to ensure your child's eye health is protected. By taking these steps, we can prevent the growing myopia crisis and safeguard our children.
Inadequate nutrition is also a reason behind rising cases of short-sightedness in children.
Diet plays an important role in eye health. There is no direct correlation between diet and myopia, but we know that a healthy diet is very important for healthy eyesight. So we have to have a diet rich in vitamin A, C, E, certain micronutrients. So green leafy vegetables, carrots, beetroot, papaya, almonds, walnuts, amla, all these factors are helpful to improve the child's eye health. We want to avoid children eating processed foods. When children eat a lot of processed foods, they do not get the micronutrients and vitamins that they need for their eyesight, and therefore they end up with deficiencies.